All that procrastination is a fear of success. Procrastination is a fear of tapping into your fullest potential because you know the work that's going to have to come with it. You know, it's 10 p.m, well, 9:30 on Sunday night. So Sundays I always do my weekly planning and I always do my reflection and see how the week's gone. And now it's like at the blink of an eye, we're already 11 days into 2026. And to be honest, there was so much in 2025 that I had to work on to build out of myself. I had to really just kill comfort, kill the bad habits, kill all of the lies I was telling myself about how productive I was being and the type of man that I wanted to become. Because we often like to dress up the type of person we want to become under this kind of sheet of lies. We want to hide it behind the fact that, oh well, I can do this later, I could do that later, I can go to the gym later, or because I'm getting in good shape now, I can focus on work later, or I can start looking good for women now later rather than now, and we just later everything. But that whole approach, when you apply that to one area of your life, when you apply that to, oh, I'll do this later, that just signifies that your standards are too low in the present, okay? Because you're not fully giving yourself that permission to be this ideal character that you've painted out to be in your mind. If you know that the ideal version of you has these things that you want later, the physique, the woman, the car, the relationship with Allah, the retired family, all of these things, the early morning wake-ups, the clean diet, the no vices, letting go of all the bad habits, all the things that you do that you don't like about yourself. If you know that there's so many of these elements about yourself that you need to work on, but you keep delaying till later, it's because you haven't given yourself that permission to win right now. Okay? So when it comes to this point where we're wondering why it's taken so long for us to reach our goals, or why it's taken so long for us to feel like we're getting closer, you know? Like when you feel like you're showing up every day, when you're going to the gym every day, when you started waking up early, when you started trying with all your businesses, ask yourself, have you fully committed to everything? Have you committed to everything across the board? Okay? Let's say that you want a beautiful wife. Number one, are you looking for one? Or number two, are you messing with someone right now? Are you messing with a girl that's not good for you? That you're sitting with? Holding on to her like it's comfort? Ask yourself that. If you say that you want to be in good shape, but later you're going to focus on really, really dialing it in, what does that say about the man that you're trying to be? I know that the version of you that wants to be successful, he doesn't have a big belly, he doesn't have man tits, he's disciplined, he can say no to things. The version of you that has this life of freedom, that's flying around in private jets, that's his words mean something. Does he delay action, or does he do things right now? Okay? Every single day, I write myself a task list of things that I need to complete. And some nights, especially over December, I wasn't doing them. So I wasn't always completing them. And that was also the time when I was just eating I was binging some sugary food. And by the way, this doesn't always happen. This is I always stay true to my task list. I always stay true to my wake-ups. But since this Umrah, and since after Umrah coming back and just being broke and having to move back into my parents, I've caught myself going back into pity. Caught myself going back into being a little B word. Okay, so I'm glad I've got these car talks back. But I'm just ticking off everything I've done. So every day, I've got my morning wake-ups. My wake-up time's 6 a.m. now because I'm working on US hours, closing offers. So I sleep a bit later. But there's my morning routine. Okay? Fajr, make my bed, hydrate, 50 push-ups, wudu and read Quran, journal. I need to journal when I go in. Daily tasks, shoulders and triceps, hit the bag or run, complete the trading for the sales offer that I'm on. Edit and post a YouTube video, which has already been posted. Film content Instagram, already been posted. and film a YouTube video. Now, I'm doing that right now. Sort my tax requests, doing that now. And then I need to do my Sunday planning when I go in. When I hold myself to this standard of getting these things done every single day, no matter how I feel, no matter what time I go to bed, no matter the excuses that my mind is telling me, I can't feel bad. I can't feel bad about myself. When you're in this flow of just thinking, how can I do more? Rather than giving yourself these excuses of why you can't, that you get into a euphoric state of execution. Another thing, when you say that you're Mr. Productive and you're Mr. Useful, when your mum or someone in your life asks you to like take out the bins or wash this dish or just take something upstairs or do something, when we're like on this entrepreneur mode, you can be like, oh, I know, because I need to do this other thing, when really you're scrolling, or really you're just doing something where it's not that high impact, and someone else tells you to do something, so then you snap into work mode. Oh, no, I need to work now. When you actually just do the thing, the request that someone else has asked of you, you feel better. Because you're being productive. Doing things for other people is also productive as long as it's not taking up massive amounts of your time. When you start thinking, how can I fit these things into my day? You start adopting that identity of, wow, I can do so much more than I thought. And you start to realize how much time you've been wasting. These phones are are the biggest gift and the worst enemy. Because even me, I'm on social media so much, posting, thinking of ideas, texting people, that it's inevitable that you scroll. But every time that you give into that scrolling and you don't snap out of it, you're procrastinating by fueling your body with all this dopaminergic talk like, oh, you need to become successful, da 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 da. Oh, let me watch another Andrew Tate video, let me watch this guy, let me watch that guy. But it's not actually productive. It isn't actually productive. Otherwise, there'd be all these 15-year-olds watching Andrew Tate all day would be billionaires. All that procrastination is a fear of success. Procrastination is a fear of tapping into your fullest potential because you know the work that's going to have to come with it. You know that you have to be better. You know that the habits that you do right now, the girl that you speak to, the bad relationships you have around you, the bad friends you have around you, the bad food that you eat, the comfort that you get at night, the peace and the solitude you get at some points in your day, some of that is going to have to die for a new version of you to be born. You know that. So that is what you're afraid of. That's why you give in to the comfort. That's why you keep clinging on to these things that don't serve you. And I understand. This is a battle I go through all the time. I've had these thoughts even when I was running my sales agency. We were generating crazy revenue, but we had all the supply constraints. I always had this nagging thought of, what if I get the supercars but I'm not happy? But all that was me I was fat. I wasn't as emotionally mature as I am right now. My relationship with Allah wasn't great. There were so many things that I had to work on that I wasn't willing to work on in that time frame. The only thing I wanted to work on was managing my sales team. Okay? So I wasn't ready for my success. So I unconsciously sabotaged myself by procrastinating on the things I needed to do for my growth. And I don't want the same for you. Every day we have to raise our standard. Every day we hold ourselves to a new, higher standard. That means getting in the gym when you don't feel like it. That means waking up early when you don't feel like it. That means not just doing these things like going to the gym and waking up early and then slacking when it comes to your work. That means giving it 100% when it's time to work. Because no one else is going to do it for you. I promise you, bro, this past year, 2025, yes, I got back in good shape. Yes, I got my habits nailed down. Yes, I'm a complete different person. I'm a lot more mature, and I've developed great relationships with my family again and some of my friends. And I'm much more screwed on my vision and who I am, rather than just being this lost kid just trying to chase Ferraris when he can't even look after his belly. But sorry, there's people out there looking. They always throw me off when I get things like that. But it doesn't change the fact that you can never outrun the version of you who clings on to all of these bad habits. Okay? And the minute that you decide to go all in on your potential, because potential just means you haven't achieved it yet. And you can't ever just keep running off potential. You can't just, the worst curse you could have is people always saying, oh, this guy had potential, but he didn't follow through with it. This guy had potential, but he didn't carry out his goals. This guy had potential. Because potential just means wasted effort. Okay? Potential means future effort. And we're not promised tomorrow. You guys might have seen, maybe like last week, Lats, Anthony Joshua's trainer, died in a car crash in Nigeria. Good Muslim brother. How does that happen? 36 years old, huge guy, amazing physique, loved worldwide. Car crash takes his life. Life is not promised. And the more that we just surrender to this path, this comfort, this blanket that's already been laid out for us, without confronting the change that we know we need to do, we're always going to have big potential, but nothing in reality. And it's up to you to change that. And you're more than capable. But it starts today. Keep pushing, bro.